Welcome to another episode of The Thinking Tofu. I'm your host, The Thinking Tofu. So after my breakup, I've been trying to improve myself. The most apparent and obvious improvement that I've done to myself is my body. I've been going to the gym ever since my ex-girlfriend broke up with me. Partly because I became really self-conscious about my body when I was obsessively comparing myself with other guys, but mostly because I didn't like who I was. Maybe because my ex didn't like who I was, so I didn't like who I was as well. Which is, I guess, the main source of motivation of why I wanted to change different aspects of my life. Going to the gym was also my only choice of activity at the time of the breakup because all other activities would remind me of the good times I've spent with her, which is excruciatingly painful. Going to the movies, walking alone to the promenade, cooking or eating at good restaurants are all banned. Gym was like the only activity that I've not done with her. At the same time, gym gave me physical pain. I learned to love physical pain because I think emotional pain is much more difficult to deal with. And physical pain can distract me from the emotional pain. I try to channel my emotions to become the strength of lifting weights. It gave me a focus other than focusing on my breakup, a kind of goal to work towards. It became a kind of escape as well. Eventually, for the first few months, I did get bigger and build up some muscle mass. From being a scrawny kid to people saying like, wow, you've gotten a lot bigger. My weight has changed from 59 kg at the time of the breakup to 66.5 kg through the course of like 4 months. I had to thank my brothers for this because they told me that gymming can, build up confidence, not because you become physically bigger, but because you psychologically know that you can accomplish the goals you set out for yourself and that you are capable of change. But can we really change into whatever we want to become? I mean, of course, there's always a limit. Like, an orange cannot become an apple. A man cannot become a water bottle. However, if we are talking about something in a more realistic sense, can introverts become extroverts? Can you really change your personality? Can you become as big as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Can you become a billionaire? After gymming for about 4 months, my progress began to bottleneck. My muscle mass did not gain as much as before, even when I'm going to the gym for like 4 times a week and trying to eat a lot more. Other than this, my efforts to change my career also did not go according to what I have expected. I tried to study for my MBA exam as I wanted to change my career from architecture to something more business related. However, I did not get a score that I'm satisfied with. I also tried to go out to events and meet new people, such as the Alumni Association of my university. So to, kind of try to overcome my fear of doing small things. Doing small talks. I went maybe 4 times to these events, but I still don't feel comfortable making small talks. But I guess the question is also this, like, what do I actually want to change into to be considered successfully evolve as a person? What are the goals that I actually want to achieve so that I become satisfied? So let's do a checklist. Firstly, I want to become more confident. I want to be more natural in social interactions, be confident to show my true self. Secondly, I want to be more optimistic. I want to be optimistic about the future, that my better days are ahead. Thirdly, I want to connect to people on a deeper level. I want to understand what people are thinking and create deep connections with them emotionally. Fourthly, I want to feel that I am good enough. I want to have a good self-esteem. I want to be happy with who I am. I want to get rid of whatever, the kind of defeater mindset, and that I can achieve the goals that I've set out for myself. While I know I can do better in every aspect of things, seeing that my progress seems to be bottling makes me think if there's a limit to who I can be. Maybe I've not done enough. That's why I did not overcome the threshold of changing or evolving to become the things I want to be. Maybe I need to be, practicing a lot more. I wonder if it is the methods that I'm using that is not allowing me to progress quicker. Maybe I need to put myself into those less comfortable situations a lot more frequently. That would mean going to the gym and lifting heavier weights, or eating a lot more protein, or going to more social interactions and situations so that I become more comfortable in these settings. Sometimes I would enjoy these situations, but sometimes I would be thinking to myself if I'm actually forcing myself to be someone that I'm not meant to be. When I'm applying jobs that are business related, mostly because of the money they might offer, and subsequently getting a lot of rejections, I would think to myself if I'm actually meant to do these things. This leads me to question whether there is something that I am meant to do, or if I can carve out my own path. How much of life can I actually influence, and how much of life do I have to obey? There's also a time factor that makes me question my efforts as well. I recently got laid off by a startup company that I was working for, and I decided to apply to business-related jobs, which includes banking, management trainee programs, management consulting roles, and MBA exams. This resulted in a lot of rejections, but I kept on applying or studying. It has been 3 months now since I've started doing this, but I don't see light at the end of the tunnel. I keep asking myself every day, how much longer can I keep on doing this? I can't go unemployed for too long, as I still have to earn money for my family. Doing all these prep work is also taking away time from my progress of becoming an architect, which was, my fallback career, as that is what I studied, and it is also a career that I am familiar with. Should I set myself a deadline to when I should stop pursuing a career in business and focus back on architecture? So, I think for changing of careers, there's always a sort of time factor risk. But I guess all these also comes down to the cost of not doing these things, because what will happen if you don't put in the effort? Nothing. No change would happen if you don't put in any effort, right? There are no miracles that will happen if you just sit and do nothing. So this becomes very clear what the course of action is. Either you do something that you have a chance at changing, or you don't do anything and not have any chance of changing. This itself, I think, can give me the spark to continue to do what I should do. Continue to use the methods that I've been using to improve myself. And until I find new methods, I will continue to do whatever I am doing right now and try to do more of it. There's no use to be, too analytical at this point. So yeah, would definitely like to hear from you guys. Do you guys have any problems when you're trying to actively change yourself? Do you guys feel discouraged and doubtful when you see that your progress is not satisfactory? How do you guys overcome that doubt of whether your method of improving yourself is effective or not? Comment below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And as always, thanks for listening to this podcast.